Hi Harry Potter fans, I'm Miss Briana from the Hopewell Branch Library. Today I'm going to tell you about some fantasy series that you may enjoy after finishing the Harry Potter books. For our youngest Harry Potter fans who love reading about magical schools, we have the series Upside Down Magic by Sarah Malinowski, Lauren Miracle, and Emily Jenkins. The Upside Down Magic series follows the adventures and misadventures of Nori Horace and her classmates as they learn how to manage their magical abilities with the help of their teacher, Ms. Starr, in the Upside Down Magic Room at Dunwhiddle Magic School. So far, there are 7 books in the series, and the latest book, Hide and Seek, was just released in July. For those fans who love all the magical creatures in Harry Potter, you may also enjoy the Spiderwick Chronicles by Tony D. Chilizzi and Holly Black. This series chronicles the adventures of the Grace children, twins Simon and Jared and their older sister Mallory after they move into the Spiderwick estate and discover a world of fairies that they never knew existed. This series includes 5 books. The same authors also wrote Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles, which begins far from the old-fashioned charm of New England. Here's a summary. Under the hot Florida sun, Nick Vargas and his annoying new stepsister Lori stumble upon the fairy world. A Nixie asks for their help to save her sisters, and before they know it, Nick and Lori are outrunning giants, negotiating with mermaids, and battling a monster that's bigger than they'd ever imagined. Along with Nick's brother Jules and some other familiar faces, the kids find themselves in a race to save not only themselves, but all of Florida. In addition, you can find out more about the magical creatures in the Spiderwick Chronicles with these 2 books. Our next series is The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. This series tells the tale of twins Alex and Connor. Through the mysterious powers of a cherished book of stories, they leave their world behind and find themselves in a foreign land full of wonder and magic where they come face to face with fairy tale characters they grew up reading about. There are 6 books in the series. In addition, the author just started a new series for slightly older readers with the prequels A Tale of Magic and A Tale of Witchcraft. In the first book, 14-year-old Bristol Evergreen is disowned by her family after she manifests magical talents and is sentenced to a workhouse. Shortly afterward, the mysterious Madame Weatherby rescues her to study at her newly established Academy of Magic. The next series we have is The Unwanteds by Lisa McMahon. Here's a summary. In a society that purges 13-year-olds who are creative, identical twins Aaron and Alex are separated. One to attend university, while the other, supposedly eliminated, finds himself in a wondrous place where youths hone their abilities and learn magic. This series contains 7 books. Trouble-Twisters is a 4-book series by Garth Nix and Sean Williams. Here's a summary of the first book. When their house mysteriously explodes and they are sent to live with an unknown relative named Grandma X, 12-year-old twins Jade and Jack Schill learn that they are Trouble-Twisters, young wardens just coming into their powers who must protect humanity from the evil trying to break into Earth's dimension. The Aru Shah series is an exciting new series by Roshni Chokshi. In the first book, 12-year-old Aru stretches the truth to fit in at her private school, but when she is dared to prove an ancient lamp is cursed, she inadvertently frees an ancient demon. Currently, there are 3 books in the series, and the 4th will be released in 2021. Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. The series begins with 12-year-old Sophie, who is never quite fit into her life. She's skipped multiple grades and doesn't really connect with the older kids at school, but she's not comfortable with her family either. And Sophie has a secret. She's a telepath, someone who could read minds. But the day Sophie meets Fitz, a mysterious and adorable boy, she learns she's not alone. He's a telepath too, and it turns out the reason she has never felt at home is that, well, she isn't. Fitz opens Sophie's eyes to a shocking truth, and almost instantly she is forced to leave behind her family for a new life in a place that's vastly different from what she's ever known. The 9th book in the series will be released in October. Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. When their parents take a 17-day cruise, Kendra and her younger brother Seth stay with their grandpa and grandma Sorensen. Grandpa explains that he is the caretaker of a preserve called Fablehaven, a sanctuary that helps creatures such as fairies, imps, and satyrs and others avoid extinction. Try all 5 books in the series. Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. Morrigan Crow is cursed. Chased By black smoke hounds and shadowy hunters on horseback, she is whisked away into the safety of a secret magical city called Nevermore. It's then that Morrigan discovers she was chosen to contend for a place in the city's most prestigious organization, the Wondrous Society. The third book in the series will be released in October. Septimus Heap by Angie Sage. This series follows the adventures of Septimus Heap, who, as the seventh son of a seventh son, has extraordinary magical powers. After he becomes an apprentice to the extraordinary wizard of the series, Marcia Overstrand, he must study for 7 years and a day until his apprenticeship ends. The School for Good and Evil by Soman Shinani follows the adventures of best friends Sophie and Agatha at the School for Good and Evil, an enchanted institution where children are trained to become fairy tale heroes or villains, respectively. This series is an epic journey into a dazzling new world where the only way out of a fairy tale is to live through one. Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. This series follows the adventures of Artemis Fowl, a 12-year-old criminal mastermind, as he kidnaps a fairy for a large ransom of gold with the help of his bodyguard, Demolve Butler, and his younger sister, Juliet Butler, to restore the Fowl family fortune. Don't miss the supplement books to the series called the Artemis Fowl Files, which contains 2 short stories, and the Artemis Fowl Guide to the World of Fairies. In addition, there's a new series about the Fowl twins. This hilarious spin-off series stars Artemis's younger brothers along with a nefarious nobleman, a shadowy nun, and a fairy intern, and a maverick troll. The newest book will be released in October. Tristan Strong by Kwame Mbalia. In the first book, Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. 7th grader Tristan Strong accidentally creates a hole into the Midpass, a volatile place with a burning sea, haunted bone ships, and iron monsters. Tristan finds himself in the middle of a battle that has left Black American folk heroes John Henry and Brer Rabbit exhausted. In order to get back home, Tristan and these new allies will need to entice the god Anansi the Weaver to come out of hiding. Magisterium by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. This series takes place in a world where mages can draw on the elements earth, fire, water, and air as sources of magic. Young potential mages travel to a school called the Magisterium to study magic, hone their powers, and prepare to fight the evil source of magic in their world, chaos magic. There are 5 books in the series. And finally, I wanted to share with you a young adult series called The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott. The Alchemist is the first novel in this fictional fantasy series about the real historical alchemist Nicholas Flamel. The author uses his knowledge of and expertise in folklore to weave a story about 2 teenagers in San Francisco who got caught up in a series-long battle over a book. The teens meet many popular characters from history and myths as their ordinary lives become extraordinary. There are 6 books in the series. Thank you for watching today. If you need more book recommendations, please contact the Youth Service Librarians at your branch and they'd be happy to put together a list for you. Additionally, you can use our personalized pick service, which you will find on our webpage. After filling out a form with your reading preferences, a librarian will create a list of recommended books for you. Have a great day and keep on reading.